Hello and welcome to Sonic. Okay, like an idiot, I just recorded all of the first episode and didn't realise that I hadn't had my microphone. And I'm dead, of course. So I recorded all of part 1 of Classic Sonic, only to realise that I hadn't had my microphone turned on because I'm an idiot. But don't worry, I will upload it anyway. And now I have to try and remember all the stupid things I was talking about. Because, yeah, I just told a story about being poor and getting called a peasant or something. Okay, so let me try this again. Where I live, there's a lot of rich people. And some of them really do look down on anyone who doesn't really have that much money, or if you have like an average paying job, or like if you're not just disgustingly rich, they sort of look down on you sometimes. And it's not everyone, but some people can really just have like an attitude problem. And once I was at work and I was just doing my job and I was painting a fence, and this bloke in a suit walks up, very rich. You get that impression from him sort of immediately, and he was just like, if you worked for me, I'd fire you. And I was like, what? Why? He goes, because you're just doing a terrible job. I wasn't. I mean, I was painting a fence. I went to college to learn how to do painting and decorating, and, you know, I've painted my own house and everything. But, well, it's not my house, but the house I live in. The house I rent. Yeah, I realised, see, that sort of stuff used to bother me when I was about, 16, 17, working, being introduced to, into work life for the first time. But then I started to realise that, I mean, that guy, he was just not a nice person. And he just woke up one day and decided, you know what, I'm just going to spend my time putting people down because it makes me feel good. So just ignore that sort of shit from people. So those aren't good people. God, I talked about so much in the last video, and now I can't remember all the stuff I talked about. Okay, so about 10 to 20 minute drive from where I am, from where I live, is Diddley Squat Farm from Clarkson's Farm, which is a fun little fact. I've never been there. I know that it's very overly expensive, and I also know that when you go there, it's just absolutely rammed with people all the time, regardless of what the weather's like. Whether it's absolutely pissing with rain, it will always be full of people. I reckon they think that Clarkson's actually going to be in there. But yeah, in the area where I am, there are some areas that are quite full of rich people, but there's just as many, you know, normal, like, working class, average people about. But not far from where I live is a place called Woodstock, which is a really nice place. It's a historic town, and a lot of people in Woodstock just think they're better than everyone. But I was in a pub waiting to meet my friend, and the woman who was behind the bar, I walked into this pub and she just looked at me like, what are you doing here? It's like, you are not rich enough to be allowed in here. And just was like very, like, had a real attitude problem with me. And I was like, oh, I just want a coffee. And she's like, ugh, okay, fine. But, I mean, I look like someone who is, you know, like a working person, like, you know, check shirt, jeans and boots. I look like a gardener. And a lot of my job is, like, outside work. Okay, so there's this one bloke who comes into where I work, and he's a customer because I work in a shop. All the staff know who he is. He's regular, comes in, like, you know, he's come in like every, you know, couple of days for like the last, well, I've been there for over 10 years, and he's been there since, been coming to the shop since before I started. And, someone I work with, we sort of have a saying about this one bloke, and it's, if you have, I don't know if he made this up or if this is actually a saying, but he said, if you've got a black dog, he has a blacker one, is the way you would describe this one bloke. Because he sort of, no matter what you've done or what you know, he's done it, he's done more of it. Always thinks he's better than everyone, and yeah, we kind of take the mick out of him a little bit behind his back. He's sort of like, oh, no, I was so close, damn it. What was I saying? Yeah, so this one guy, so where I work, at a certain time of year, basically the staff, we used to have this like little competition where we would grow sunflowers or we would grow pumpkins. And this one bloke would come in and he'd be like, say the sunflower you grew got to, let's say, 5 foot. He'd come in and he'd go, my sunflowers got to 7 foot last year. I grew twice as many as you've done this year. And he does actually talk like that. As well. My pumpkins were twice the size of those. You're like, yeah, whatever. No one takes him seriously, but he's just like one of those people, it doesn't matter. And you could be like, bloody hell, the traffic was terrible yesterday. was stuck in traffic for an hour. Be like, well, I got stuck in traffic for 2 hours the other day. Yeah, bloody nightmare. Yeah. In fact, this same bloke came into where I work today. He knows me. He's like, we all know him. He knows all the staff members, and he comes in, sees me. I was on my lunch break, and then I got back from lunch, went into where I was working, and he just looked at me and he went, he goes, what are you doing here? I didn't realise you were working today. I was like, he goes, you don't normally work Sundays, do you? And I'm like, I've been working every Sunday for the past 10 years. That shut him up. And I genuinely have. Oh, I'm stuck. Bloody hell. Can I move this? Nope. Okay. Okay, so I used to work for a company that built sheds, and I really didn't like that work, mainly because, well, the work was quite hard work, because it wasn't just building sheds, it's building the bases for the sheds and having to lay slabs and all that stuff. Now, I wouldn't mind, only the guy that, you know, was in charge wanted all this work done in a day, and then but he just never wants to pay anyone. And I'm like, I'm not doing that sort of work for virtually nothing. That's not okay. So I quit once, like, so angry that I just walked out and was like, I'm not coming back. But I still kind of work for that same company. I do like it's like a 1 day a week, or like 1 day every 2 weeks little side. Oh no. Little bit of work for him, because every time he sells a shed, he has to take down an old shed. But he doesn't want to have to pay to get rid of them, so there's like this area of land which is like privately owned that he dumps all the shed panels there and then pays me to burn them all. Only because I'm like, oh no, no, oh you son of a. Bloody hell. Pay attention. This is getting ridiculous. This is getting bloody ridiculous. Oh, am I right at the start again? Hold on. Ah, no. Oh, wow. Kind of annoyingly, there's no option to pause the recording without having to end the whole video. Oh well. So now I've lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Yeah, so this guy dumps all the sheds on this little bit of land and then pays me to burn them all. Which is great, because I can do it pretty much whenever I want, at any time. It doesn't affect my main job, which is great. And because I'm doing it completely alone, and after hours, I can actually grab some food from the shop, and some drinks, sit there, have a couple of beers, sit back and just burn a load of sheds. Okay, so back when I was 16, I remember sometime was maybe at some point during my first week, or maybe it was second week of working, like ever, with my first job. Someone came in and they just asked me a question that I didn't know the answer to, but I also had absolutely no customer service skills or hadn't had any training or anything yet, because I was still... Well, actually, it wasn't really a job. I was volunteering, but then later on it ended up being paid. But they were like, "Do you know anything about these sheds?" And I didn't know how to respond, and I didn't know what to say, and I was nervous, and I just couldn't say "Oh, I'm sorry." Now I'd be like, "I'm sorry, but I don't work for that company, so sorry, but I don't know anything about it." But I didn't know what the words were, because and didn't know if didn't know who to say, "Oh, go talk to that person." I didn't know anything, and no one had explained to me that there were two different companies sharing the same bit of space. So I froze up for a second to think about it, and the woman who asked me, "Do you know anything about the sheds?" Because I froze up and I didn't know what to say, and I was quiet for a minute while I thought about it. She asked me if I was retarded, which is just a lovely thing to be asked by a complete stranger, as well as just a lovely introduction to, you know, work life. Okay, I gotta concentrate now. Die. No, what? No, I got... No, that's not fair. Okay, this game is cruel. Oh no! Oh no. Noob, 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 noob. Yeah. I don't know what it is with people and being horrible to people that work in shops. Oh no. Oh my god. Fail. Fail, fail. Okay, back to this again. Oh. Okay, I don't know if I mentioned this, if I said this... No, crap. Don't know if I mentioned this, or if it was in the last video where I wasn't recording, but I heard somewhere that the bonus levels were... So someone who was, like, on the team that developed this game had, like, a weird fever dream. Or, like, he got sick and he had a strange dream. And that's what inspired the bonus levels, which, you know, would make sense, judging from the looks of it. I haven't fact-checked that, so, but that's just what I heard. Okay, this looks trippy as hell. Okay, so there's this one lady who's one of my neighbors, and she's basically what you might call a Karen. But once I ordered a skip because I needed to clear out the loft, and I realized that the skip that I wanted was, or the skip that I ordered was smaller than what I needed. And basically, all my stuff, if I kind of folded it up and placed it in basically like Tetris so that it fits exactly right, I had exactly enough space to fit everything that I needed in. Well, this lady wanted to put something in my skip, and she didn't ask, she just went ahead and did it. And I didn't realise, and I didn't have room, and a few people had tried putting stuff in my skip. So I hooked out their stuff, placed it on the side, put all of my stuff in, and then asked the people to come collect the skip. And this woman stopped me on my way to work and had a right bloody go at me, going, "Oh, I wanted to put something in your skip, blah 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 blah." And ever since then, she's basically been trying to make my life a bloody pain. Like, she keeps on reporting me to, like, the local council on just bullshit things that aren't real. You know what I mean? Like, she told, like, the local council that I lived in this, like, really horrible, disgusting house that needed to be investigated, and they came to the house to look at the house, and they were like, "There's nothing wrong here." Actually, they were like, "Hey, we noticed that the lock on your back door isn't up to standard. We're going to send someone out to fix it for you." It's like, thank you. That's really nice of you. Thank you for that. Didn't want anyone breaking in. But my god, we get letters through the door all the time from the bullshit complaints that she makes. It's all because she didn't want to have to pay to throw away her own rubbish. Right, I'm going to leave the video here. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.